I poured myself a triple so I wouldn't have to refill.
I still have to make dinner at some point because all I've had is a couple of burritos from Taco Bell. Oh wait, if he started, we should probably let him do his thing.
Sorry, dear.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Midnight Show. Currently being filmed in front of a. Well, no, it's being filmed while I'm driving down the highway, controlling the short bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the short bus, we have currently Rotncorpse. How you doing, Rodden?
Better now than I was earlier today.
Okay. We have Angela, who's just along for the ride.
I'm trying to keep the bus on track.
Well, it's not a train,
Good luck with
so-
that.
Given that I'm drinking, that's going to be a fun ride.
We have James Colley, who's currently backseat driving.
Hey, can we stop by McDonald's?
We got McDonald's at home.
No,
But
we have McDonald's at home.
I want McDonald's.
We have the Golden Arches at home, James. God. And a recurring guest, Terrybot. How you doing, Terrybot?
I'm just here to try and cause a 20-cup pile up.
Bastards.
Ain't no accident
All
like
of
a
you.
freeway accident.
Complete and utter degenerates. And I'm one of them.
Yep.
All right, so since James brought up the D&D thing, so how do you guys feel about for those that play D&D? How do you feel about them removing half races because that's racially insensitive?
I think it's hilarious.
I
think
do too.
it's stupid.
I think it's dumb because they don't understand like all the shit they keep trying to say that they're against. They just keep showing like we hate white supremacy, but we're gonna go right fucking with it. We hate segregation and that whole thing, but we're gonna try to segregate people. Like we're to try to make it's like try to make one caramel colored. It's like species, but instead we don't want race mixing. It's like, what the fuck is it?
No, the thing that gets me is that anti-miscegenation is a white supremacist like philosophy. They don't want race mixing either. By trying to not be racist, they're agreeing with white supremacists that hey, maybe we shouldn't interbreed. Maybe those dirty black people should stay over there, and the pristine white people can create our master race.
The ethno state that was it Richard Spencer wanted to create was totally fine when it was Wakanda.
Yeah, true.
I'm rather. I don't like the fact that they're removing. Granted, I fucking hate Wizards of the Coast and D&D is ruined for me. I have no intentions of ever getting another D&D product ever again.
Yeah, no, I mean, I never bought any of it except the video games, which, Baldur's Gate was like 20 years ago. I don't think that's going to have an impact.
Yeah, that's when D&D was good.
Yeah.
But I have no intentions. Them removing half races is dumb because half races are a thing. People interbreed. And then in D&D, the races are literally different races, like species, completely.
Yeah.
They're different.
Which makes it even creepier if you think about it. I mean, if they're a totally different species, that's kind of bordering on bestiality. For there to even be a half orc, that's raising questions.
Well, you gotta remember, at least for that, from my understanding, that orcs originally were monstrous races and they kind of rape people. Depending on the setting.
No.
Depending on your setting.
It was not rape.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Orcs have a strange way of showing affection.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, it was rape at first.
Yes, the first time was.
Then we
But
just
if you
No,
go
like,
back for a
the-
second time,
The first few minutes was rape, then she got into it.
once you go
Oh.
green, that's what you mean. Yes, I told you to slay the dragon, not lay the dragon.
That is my favorite.
Like, since we're in DD, like, I have this somewhere. I have to remain quiet and find it.
You know, what other little news bits of the day? Did have anyone seen James O'Keefe talking to Dylan?
No.
No, I
No.
refuse to watch anything that involves that cunt.
James O'Keefe?
I think he means Dylan.
Oh no! So James O'Keefe, I forget the hotel it was. Corners Dylan Mulvaney and asks him a bunch of questions. Dylan flees as best he can and wouldn't say a word. Like James O'Keefe was trying. Like, so what do you think about men in women's prisons and babies being created? Like what do you think about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is a natural consequence of the ideology that Dylan is pushing. Is if men and women are equivalent, then there is no reason to keep men out of a women's prison. That's the logical conclusion of his premise.
We'll just do those for-profit prisons with everyone in there. Then you know what? The kids that are born, they can just be into labor there as well.
Yeah. Like you can be born into slavery. Wow. It's
I mean, if I were gonna ask Dylan, go ahead.
You.
I'll say if I were gonna ask Dylan anything, it's why he's cosplaying as a 13-year-old girl.
People are weird. Fucking weird.
I mean,
But
he's annoying, but he's still better than the one dude who tries to get kids to join his Patreon so he can
Jeffrey Marsh.
Jeffrey Marsh. That
He's a full-on
degenerate.
predator, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell me he doesn't diddle kids.
Well,
Or at
he's
least
not
Okay, I
inviting the
won't tell
ball.
you that
He's
he
saying
does, but you're
you
gonna be
should
surprised.
stop listening to your parents and listen to me instead. That is like straight up grooming. That is like dictionary definition of the word.
You know, I don't want to sound mean, but this was any other century prior. People like Jeffrey wouldn't be able to do what he does.
He'd be experiencing the joys of the mighty wood chipper if this was any other time in history.
That might not be a wood
Yeah.
chipper. It might just be a hanging
I'll settle for that.
or drawn and quartered.
I want to get
I was thinking
Why
why
did-
quartered actually.
again. Why am I the only one that wants a brazen bull? Come on now.
Because that requires a lot of extra effort. You have to build a fire, have all that contraption. I'm more for simplistic sake. Plus
Lots
the whole
more
having
screams
four
and less
horse.
blood.
Plus the whole having. Well, no, with a drawn and quartered, that's a hell of a lot more blood.
No, that's
That's way
I
more
was
blood.
talking about the brazen bull.
It's less blood with the brazen bull. I'm boiling you alive.
I think don't waste effort.
Technically,
on
you're roasting
something like
them,
that. Just kill them and be done with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just want them, removed from society. I don't need them tortured slowly to death. As long as they're dead, and it's fine.
See, this is why I like prison, because if you hurt a kid, you should be hurt for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee that, Jeffrey Marsh rocks up to prison. He's not surviving. He's gone.
No.
I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Marsh would be popular in prison, and not for the reason
As long as he lives.
But no, once it got out what he was like doing in terms of grooming children, I think as pretty as the inmates might find him, they put an end to him.
Yeah, but they make it long and torturous and take advantage of how pretty it is until it got to that point.
Angela, Kari, please never use the words pretty and Jeffrey Marsh in the same breath.
Oh, I mean,
I actually am not sure what he looks like. So.
You've never seen Jeffrey?
He's a dude with a beard that wears makeup and dresses and is just
Weird.
Like you look at this guy, you don't have to hear him speak. You know he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. He gives off massive, if I see you in the dark, I'm touching you inappropriately.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those people that you're hoping for that they're gonna God, now I'm trying to remember what the hell it's called, where it's like if I see you in the street, you get in these hands.
Like he gives off stranger danger vibes. Best way to put it. Stranger danger. Massively.
Check the meme.
What other little topic that I wanted to bring up before we get to the readings of the asshole?
Thank you, Rotten.
Pedophile people.
No, I was looking at James's as well.
I saw James's.
Yeah, James, you need to bring yours in a little bit because part of the text is covered by your name.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to do that. Because once I display it, I can't change it.
You're using OBS, right?
Yeah.
Click on it, on the thing itself, and you should have a red box on it to where you can go and quite literally resize it. Oops, that's the wrong one.
Nope.
Okay.
You see?
So, does that do it?
Not quite.
Oh Lord, he gone mad.
Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, he's got to make sure it's the one that's selected. It's like I have a shit ton of these that I've been going through.
Oh no!
What the hell?
That one creeps me out.
Oh, Bilbo. All right, so I'm gonna do a short one first because this one pissed me off.
Well, since are you doing "Am I the Asshole" or you want to do another like kind of news story?
I was gonna do another really quick, small "Am I the Asshole"?
Yeah, we'll do that as a palate cleanser.
All right. Oh shit. What, the news story or the asshole?
Asshole.
All right, then you got a news story?
Oh yeah, but I don't even need to bring it up because it's one that you see off Twitter, and I'm pretty sure other than you, since you don't have a Twitter, everyone else has seen it.
Private chat it or
Oh, dude, I don't even need to private chat it because like other people have already talked about it. I just feel like talking about it.
Oh, go right in.
Oh, okay. Because like, have you seen that they're going to be doing a live action of Lilo and Stitch?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that shit.
Okay. The funniest part is the fact that they're getting pissed that the chick that they have cast to play Nani, the elder sister, isn't dark enough. And there were a lot of people at first claiming that why did they cast a white chick? But she's a native light-skinned Hawaiian.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. I'm looking for my world's smallest violin right now, and I'm trying to find a to give.
Oh no! But the funny part is the same people that were saying Ariel should be black, all these other characters that were originally white should be black, are now pissed that this light-skinned Hawaiian is not dark-skinned enough.
Just like Ruby Rose wasn't lesbian enough. So, have I ever explained to you how I feel about character swapping, race swapping characters?
I would imagine that you're not for it.
No.
Dude, your mic fucked.
Me or him?
That was him.
I'm guessing that was his feelings on race swapping.
I know he said it before.
Sounds like a
basically,
sandblaster.
yes, we can hear you. You decided to descend into madness.
Sorry.
That was like
my
a
feeling-
sandblaster.
Oh my, I'm sorry. So as a writer or someone that likes to create characters, when someone creates a character, that is literally they have the final word on what that character looks like, acts like, and does. When someone race swaps a character, these are always motherfuckers that come in after the character's been created and just change shit. Oh well, we gotta make Mary Jane black. For what reason? What reason does it serve? Why is Ariel black? Like, she was a perfectly serviceable character when she was white. Why are you change? What change does that make?
Well,
You know?
I have to admit, I am in favor of a black Tarzan.
You're in favor of a black Tarzan for the wrong reasons.
No. Here you go. This is one of the things that I've seen before that kind of sums it up. It's like there's this weird tendency among fandom types that when they take a character and they insist that they are fans of them before changing their design, age, pronouns, backstory, blood type, species, hometown, favorite color, zodiac sign, medical history, and every other facet of their being. They will then violently insist that this version is superior to the canon one and act like they fixed them. And it's like, buddy, that's not the same character anymore. That's just your own OC committing identity fraud. Like, I get the desire to experiment with different interpretations of the story, but first of all, it's okay just to make an original character if that's what you really want to do. And second of all, if you're really a fan of the character that you fixed, if they're a completely different person afterwards, like, it's just gonna remember, buddy, that's not the character. That's your OC committing identity fraud.
No, but the thing is, they can't. Well, they can make it original characters, but they have to name them after something that already exists, because otherwise they can't exploit an existing fan base. Like, if you make Black Luke Skywalker and call him Fred, no one's going to watch your stupid movie. If you call him Luke Skywalker Black Edition, then all the Star Wars fans are idiots and they'll watch it.
But see, therein lies the problem of in the core of the issue. They can't create something. All right. Andrew Garfield he really wanted to push gay Spider-Man. He wanted to push that. Like, he said in all the interviews, he was pushing it hard. Make Spider-Man gay. No, don't touch Peter Parker. Create another character with similar powers and make that one of his original aspects is him being gay. Create a new character. If he survives the culling, if you will, then he's a good character. You know, if he doesn't, okay, with a failure, try again.
Yeah, but the thing is, not only do they want to cash in on existing markets, they are trying to destroy the culture. Yeah, and they can't do that with original characters. They have to undermine existing icons if they're going to collapse the entire culture. That's their goal. They don't like Western culture. They think for whatever reason it's evil, and so they're trying to destroy it. And this is how they're doing it.
They like the aspect of some things Eastern or Western culture has given, because from what we've seen as well, they really don't even like Eastern cultures.
They don't like any culture.
They have this made-up utopia that is the correct culture, and they're going to kill everyone it takes for them to implement this fantasy idea that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going, like, can you not read history? Like, have you not seen what your utopia lies on a mound of dead bodies?
No. Those people didn't do it correctly. We'll do it right. The other people, they did it wrong. That's why there's hundreds of millions of dead bodies. We'll do it better.
And I always want to ask the question, so what are you going to change? Nothing.
Oh, yeah. You don't actually change anything.
But how are you going to do it better if you don't change anything?
We're going to do it better because we're better people.
The problem is all these billionaires that they have all this money, and they shouldn't have all that money. Everyone should have that money.
Then the money's worthless.
Well, it's like Monkey said in his last year. It's like, congratulations, you just made everyone dirt poor.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite part is like you'll see people that have fled, like they fled communist Russia, they fled communist Cuba, and the people are like, oh, these people don't know what they're talking about, and it's like,
they lived it.
And that's like for a group of people that push, oh, God, believe the lived experience of people. Then why don't you believe the lived experience of people that go counter to your narrative?
Because the part that they're not saying out loud is believe the lived experience of people who agree with me.
Yeah. But to go back, what I originally wanted to get to with the live action thing, and I kind of find it funny that 90% of these people don't even understand they're being played.
Yeah.
Disney's doing the exact same thing they did with Velma, they did with freaking He-Man.
Yeah,
they're making a shitty version of this because one, they're going to get a fuck ton of people who are going to hate watch it, so they don't have to worry about that. They already have a built-in audience that's just going to go for it because, well, I got to see how bad this is, or I'm going to watch this because of whatever reason, which usually doesn't happen. The other thing is,
I never understood hate watching, because if something pisses you off, just don't watch it. Like, I can understand watching something that is going to be bad. Like, I watched the Street Fighter movie knowing it would be bad, but not because it would make me angry, because I enjoy bad movies.
Yeah.
If something is like designed to piss me off, I'm not going to subject myself to that.
Yeah. But my other thing was for that, sorry to cut you off, Angela, is I don't know why people aren't tired of being like, would you stop trying to reboot your animated movies? There are certain movies that they just do so much better in the animated media. Stop trying to make everything live action. It doesn't need to be updated to a modern audience. It doesn't need any of that shit. Let it be where it was. Honestly, most of the superhero movies, especially for the DC, and honestly anymore, even most of the Marvel, should be animated. It shouldn't be live action. It doesn't play to that. One of the, I still say the best Resident Evil movies, and I openly admit, the original live actions, the first Resident Evil and the first half of the second movie is okay. I like the first one because it did what it should have done by taking characters that weren't involved necessarily, so it could be basically a side story. But the best Resident Evil movies have been the fucking CG movies because they fell to where they need to be. They were fucking animated, so the characters that were supposed to be the way they were supposed to look already looks that way. You just have fucking voice actors.
I mean, the best Street Fighter movie is animated. The anime one from the 90s.
Oh yeah, where they have isn't that one where Ken's actually the hero in that one?
No, I can't remember the story because I haven't watched it in 20 years. But it's the one where Chun-Li and Vega have the fight after Chun-Li has the shower.
Yeah, they have that one, and then I want to say they have it's Ryu and Ken go up. I think it's against Bison at some point. And
I don't remember the details.
You just remember half naked Chun-Li fucking up Vega.
Yeah.
But I like again, like you said, you can't. There's a colorfulness that's lost in live action. Like Wolverine, take that first X-Men. I fucking hated the costume because it wasn't yellow and spandex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the bright blue. You couldn't give Storm that flowing white dress thing she wore.
I mean, it was spandex. It just had weird sashes attached to her waist and her arms for some odd reason.
Yeah, but it was.
I think was supposed to be used for the winds that she would use to do the storms. It's how she flew, basically.
Yeah, but it gave her a unique look. They all look so homogenous in their uniform. There was no personality in their costume.
Well, yeah, they had to stand out by going and getting their standout uniform.
It was wild. It sucked. So, in that, they were so limited to the actions they could take. Like Storm couldn't have that long flowing white hair. You know?
Yeah, no, that's true. There's a lot of animated stuff that is like in defiance of physics, but looks cool.
Yeah.
And you can't replicate that in real life because, as mentioned, it defies physics.
Like fucking Rogue's huge boof puffy hair. Like that just no one understands how it fucking works.
But there's lots of animated haircuts that are just utterly impossible to pull off in real life.
Like Gao.
90% of anime.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking.
Like Gao's haircut is literally impossible for humanity.
Yeah, but not only Guile, how about Birdie? He's got a fucking hole in the middle of his mohawk.
Yeah.
Bullshit, I can pull off Guile's haircut. Just not the color.
For the mohawk thing, that's plausible, but it's going to take a lot of wood glue.
Yeah.
That like fucking you can't like Blanca. They could never make Blanca look like Blanca.
Yeah.
No.
It's just there's too much stuff that when it goes to try to translate it from animation to real world, you're either going to do way too much CG or it's just not going to turn out right.
I don't even think Blanca looks like Blanca in Street Fighter 6. I mean, and that's still animated, but they've gone for a more realistic art style. I mean,
God, I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Just let it be ridiculous.
I still think they should have stuck with the art style from Street Fighter Alpha. That was perfect. It was bright, colorful. It just everyone looked like who they're meant to be. It was the best they've ever done.
But going back to
down trajectory since then.
I think they should go with a cell shading style for one of their games. That would or a 2.5D aspect where certain things look 3D.
Well, I'd even be fine with them doing more of like how they did for, like I said, the CG movies for Resident Evil, or how they did like the Final Fantasy, not Spirited or the Spirits Within, the Advent Children.
I've seen zero Final Fantasy movies, so I don't know.
Advent Children.
Spirits Within.
Spirits Within is it's a bad movie. Like if you're gonna watch it knowing that it's a bad movie. If you're a fan of like the Final Fantasy VII lore, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is a pretty dope movie.
Okay.
Mainly for like the last couple fights. The rest of it is just kind of, all right, when's the next fight scene gonna happen?
You have to admit, you have to admit, them boosting Cloud up just by jumping into the air and not physically touching anything is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, but it's supposed to be. I mean, think they have materia that they can use to summon things, and one guy took it and shoved it into his arm instead of putting it into a weapon like they always do.
Yeah.
But I did want to say, for the Street Fighter movie, I still honestly say my favorite part in that entire movie is when they see the truck is coming that's going to crash into them, and they're watching the TV. Channel. And Zangief is like, quick, someone change the channel.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Have you ever seen the Dead Fantasies stuff?
I do not think so.
By Monty
No. But one of the other things I did want to say I really dug about the Resident Evil CG movies was the voice actor for Leon S. Candy, who looks like the fucking model for Leon, like the poster boy for Leon S. Candy, and that whole thing was also the same person who did all the shit with the ping pong balls on them to do the body stuff for it. And the fact that in the live actions they didn't cast that actual man is an atrocity to this day.
I do think it's cool that in the Mortal Kombat video games, they actually have purchasable skins to make the characters look like the actors who played them in the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
I think that was a nice touch. I thought that was
a nice touch.
Well, that's a callback to the fans and everything.
Yeah, but it's just a nice idea. Is like if you want to see Robin Shou playing Liu Kang, you can buy that skin, and it's just like that. Thank you. That's a nice little thing to throw in.
Or Christopher Lambert playing fucking Raiden.
Yeah.
I see they didn't take the ones for the goddamn Annihilation movie.
Mm-hmm. I only watched the first 2 Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, Annihilation.
I don't remember. I didn't even remember the name of the second one. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. I still do kind of miss part of how they used to do that for a lot of martial arts movies and whatnot. Of how you didn't always see so much the fight like you do nowadays. Instead of it was always like the forced perspective of how the fight was supposed to be. So the camera would always have that like focused on one person as they're doing the moves, and it like focuses on the other person as they're supposed to be like dodging and backing up. Oh, that shit was great.
Well, at least the choreography in those fights were somewhat on point.
Oh, what's really funny for that movie is the chick who played Sonya Blade was actually supposed to be someone else. God damn it, I can't remember her name, but she was in Charlie's Angels and the blonde chick.
Charlize Theron? No, Cameron Diaz.
Who?
I believe it was supposed to be Cameron Diaz. Was originally supposed to be Sonya Blade, and pretty much
Bridget
because
Wilson.
of something. What?
It ended up being Bridget Wilson.
Yeah, she was her stunt person.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Jesus.
Bridget Wilson is still hot.
Oh yeah.
Because if Cameron Diaz was fucking Sonya Blade,
she took it quite a bit seriously. She went through and was learning all the fucking stuff for it, for the choreography and everything. So, like, the reason why I think she broke a rib or some shit. She had something happen that, like, because of that and another prior engagement that just ended up overlapping, so she couldn't do it. Like, she was actually kind of upset because she was really looking forward to it, because apparently from everything I remember from what I was reading and watching, and someone like the first Mortal Kombat movie, even though they were supposed, like, a lot of them were supposed to be enemies, they like really got along on set.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't expect the people like to have the same I don't expect the actors to have the same relationship with each other that the characters in the movie have. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't know, because when I see wrestling, I kind of expect them to hate each other. Like they do.
Oh, well, wrestling's a little bit different in that whole aspect. Like, one of the guys I used to work with is pretty big into it, and he saw the dude was doing autographs and whatnot, but instead of being like the person that you see on stage, he still was being the person he was on stage. He was supposed to be a heel, a bad guy, and whatnot. So, like, he's going through and signing pictures after taking the money and then just throwing them. He's not even the person; he's just throwing them out of his way. Even mocks a child crying because it's what his character would do. It's kind of like how back in the day, the Undertaker would still go out and, like, the guy who played him with clothing and whatnot.
No, I think the difference for me is that for the most part, the wrestlers are playing themselves. Like, they're not. I mean, they're playing a fictionalized version of themselves, but like Kurt Angle was basically playing Kurt Angle. Like, so if you see him acting differently to how you saw him on TV, that's going to be more jarring than if you see, Tom Cruise not acting like Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. Like,
yeah,
you don't expect like an actor playing a character to be the character off screen. Whereas if they're playing themselves, you kind of like, people would expect Larry David to be like Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm because he's playing himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of. Hey, Hellcat, how you been?
Oh, not too bad.
You jumped in on an interesting time.
No, yeah, everything's going pretty good. Went and saw Renfield earlier.
Was it good?
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Renfield.
It's the
Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that still. I want to see the one coming out where he's a cowboy.
He's a cowboy in one?
Nicolas Cage as a
The
cowboy.
old way.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Nice.
I thought you were going to say Rust.
I mean, as soon as he said it, I was like thinking of like South Park, where like gay cowboys eating pudding.
Oh my god.
I will be right back. I need to grab a drink and start
All
something
right.
to eat for dinner.
No,
Well, I'm going to start with. I'll start with the smaller of the two the asshole stories I got. Y'all ready for it?
As
No.
I'll ever be.
All right. Am I the asshole for saying
Yes.
well, okay.
Mm.
All right, I'm done. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right. Am I the asshole for saying my husband's family is racist?
Depends. Are they actually
Is your
racist?
husband's family racist?
We'll decide that. All right. I am 33 female, Hispanic, and my husband is Americano, as most people from Latin America would describe him. I speak Spanish to my kids at least 50% of the time. Our daughter's nickname is Tutu. There has always been a mocking attempt when I try to explain to my husband's parents how nicknames are so pronounced in my Mexican culture. Okay, so my mill came over to my daughter's. God damn it! Came over to give my daughters Easter baskets. She asked about some cute video I sent them of my daughters. She asked why do they keep calling one of them doo doo in the video. I explained that when we're saying tutu and it sounds D and the T are similar in Spanish. What? Tutu is what my oldest daughter calls her baby sister, so it's stuck. I explained that, and we pronounce it in a Spanish accent. She kept insisting that her nickname sounded like doo doo,
Well, it
and
does.
I should stop calling her that. My mill made a snide comment about my baby doo doo the entire time she was at my house. I ended up telling her I felt it was racist for her to continue saying that her nickname sounded like a synonym for shit. Am I the asshole?
Yes,
I
you
gotta
are.
say,
I don't
if
think
you're
so.
if you're calling your kid tutu, but your accent makes it sound like doo doo, that kid is gonna get ripped to shreds in school. So yeah, I gotta say, the mother-in-law is right. Don't call her that.
No, so the mother-in-law the asshole or the OP?
So my question is, she said that with her accent, the T's and D's sound alike,
Yeah,
or with it being Mexican, the T's and D's sound alike.
I believe she said it with her.
She said with the Spanish accent.
Yeah,
She is full of shit.
Yeah,
Even
not
with
even.
all this, I granted this is 3.5 years of high school Spanish talking, and all the shit that we've watched, I have never heard a T sound like a D.
I've never heard that either.
All I'm hearing is they're not from Mexico. They're from like Central America or even Cuba, if it does.
So you're saying that we shouldn't call him Dear Alexander?
Don't call me
We
dear.
should not call him Dear Alexander.
D with our rolling R's. I can't roll my R's either. So
Dear.
Dar.
Dear Alexander.
Alexander. Roll all those R's, damn it. Roll it.
My name.
Yeah, she's the
is
asshole.
Antonio.
Admittedly, the T is like shorter and more clipped, but it does not sound like a D.
It really doesn't. So,
Confirmed asshole.
we're waiting to use that one for a minute. We're fucking around the banners. So, are we in agreement, asshole?
Yep.
Asshole.
Asshole.
All right, I'm happy.
They ain't
And
from around
also
here.
hello to Old Guy Gamer, who is in chat and says,
Yes?
they ain't from around here.
Hi, old guy.
What up, old guy? We don't like those types around here. Let me see. Let me pull up another one. Nope, I didn't like that one. Make sure this is the one I want.
I'll be right back.
Being all picky and discriminatory about your "Am I the assholes?"
Yep, gotta choose.
Just
Don't
check
want
to see if they're written by Frosted Glass, because that makes it easier. The answer is always yes.
Yep. Fact check. No lie detected.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, I'm going to read this one, and I'll explain to you after I finish reading it. Am I the asshole for telling my half brother
Yes.
that he needs to find someone else to be a new sister to his younger brother because that person is not me?
The fuck?
What?
Wait, repeat?
Hi again.
Am I the asshole for telling my half brother that he needs to find someone else to be a new sister for his younger brother because that person is not me?
I need some kind of context that makes that make sense.
Off the cuff, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Let me
Plausibly?
Somebody's an
read this.
asshole.
Okay, I'll read it.
There's definitely gonna be an asshole here. But
All right, so my OP is 22 female. My sperm donor Chris was not a father to me in any way. He would tell my mom he loved her and promised to marry her, but he kept her a secret from his others and eventually started a family with a different woman whose family viewed him to be more respectable. Chris would save face to others by playing the victim and saying how he loved me with all his heart, but my jealous mom kept me away from him out of spite. In reality, my mom begged Chris to spend time with me. Many times my mom thought I was asleep. I overheard her offering to pay Chris money to visit me. There was more than one instance where Chris agreed, took the money, but made an excuse and didn't come. On rare occasions that Chris did spend
Well,
time
apparently
with
her
me,
throat technique doesn't work.
huh?
So apparently her throat game's weak.
Yeah, no.
Dude, that's not about the kid. Come on.
No,
Well, maybe the
but
kid
he
should-
already established that there had to be at least one arsehole present, and just Rotney's throwing himself on that grenade.
Parents are children's first teachers.
I didn't mean on our side of this story.
Oh, well, I got at least one. All right. So,
Well, I mean, if we were looking at our side of the story, it'd be me and James.
I mean, I did write resident asshole for James's headline. Oh, professional asshole, my bad.
Yay.
Wow.
All right, so let me continue. On one rare occasion, Chris did spend time with me. His dismissive actions and disregarding comments toward me made it clear that I did not matter compared to his new children. As a teenager, I gave up on Chris and focused on healing and moving on. There's still a lot of pain that I'm processing since I spent so much of my childhood and adolescence chasing Chris's approval and acknowledgement and never getting it. Chris and his wife are divorcing. I know because my half brother Xander reached out to me recently. Xander, 20-year-old male, brought my younger half brother Joey, 15-year-old male, to meet me. I reminded them of the way Chris treated me. They were often present and observed many of Chris's dismissive actions and disregarding comments toward me, but they were only willing to believe the version of Chris they grew up with, insisting that he was a great father and I should forgive him. Xander asked to start having regular meetings. I explained that I was sorry, but I do not want to interacting with him or Joey. I need to focus on taking care of my own mental health right now. And I know I'm going to be hurt by it's going to hurt me by interacting with the children of one, Chris left me for, and two, keep insisting he was a great father and that I should forgive him. Xander keeps telling me to reconsider because their sister Tina is no longer with them. And Joey really hopeful and excited about having a sister again. According to Xander, what happened to Tina has a big role in why Chris and his wife are separating. I told Xander that I'm sorry about all that is happening to him and Joey, but he needs to find a different person to be Joey's new sister because that person can't be me right now. Xander's calling me selfish and heartless. I was explaining the situation to an acquaintance, and she told me I should be more empathetic for Joey because he's a kid in an unfair family situation like I was, and that I should make more of an effort since Joey really wants a new sister again. I think distance is kind of for to the both of us. I don't want to give Joey any more hope about having a sister again, just for the relationship to likely turn sour or to be cut off. I don't like having empathy. I don't think having empathy should mean putting myself in a position that I will be hurt, that will hurt my mental state. Am I the asshole? Fuck yes.
The biggest asshole is whoever named the kid Xander.
Yeah. Oh god, that creepy goddamn.
I think they're all fucking idiots.
All right, so she is the asshole in this situation. At least from my understanding. Like,
I mean, there are no good guys here.
Yeah,
well,
this isn't so much she's an asshole, so much as she's broken and at least realizes that. And if she's the type of person who knows she'd be a bitch to him because her dad was a dick, then it probably is better for her not to be around the poor kid that just wants a sister.
Okay.
So I'm in both of their positions, the brothers and hers. I'm the other woman's child. My birth broke up my father's marriage. When I was younger, I was resentful to him. Like I'm not gonna lie, and my brothers and sisters were resentful to me. When he died, that's the first time I met all of my other siblings, save for one. He was already dead by the time my father died. And I really think that the girl, the OP, should have a relationship with her brothers. Like, hands down.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what
I mean, I was lucky. Like, my parents divorced, but my mum still wanted my dad to be, like, part of my life. So, I mean, I only saw him on weekends, but I never had, like, the trauma of, being told, like, one of my parents was, like, this evil person. I managed to avoid all that because my parents got along, so...
Oh, I mean, granted, my father was financially there, but as I got older, his visits and me seeing him became less and less, and I kind of grew angry about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like my dad was always making it very, very clear that me visiting on Saturday was like the highlight of his week. There was no mistaking it. It's like that was like why we were like close. Was like there was never any doubt about the fact that he wanted to be involved in my life. And I mean, admittedly, ever since he died, he's not been around, and I think he needs to lift his game. But before he died, he was very much a part of my life.
Yeah, get good.
I mean,
don't kick the goddamn baby. Kick the baby.
Oh, jeez.
God damn it, James.
Wait, did his sound pad work or something?
No, what I did was I went to
Oh, you played
YouTube.
audio directly in the mic.
Yes, I did.
So you grabbed your cell phone.
Because I was like, okay, mine wasn't working.
Yeah, like
but as far as this article goes, it hits really close to home because my father didn't want to be there. His parents, his brothers, all his family forced him to have a relationship with my sister and I. So quite honestly,
Fuck.
if he's going to cut and run, let him cut and run, because is it better to know or not to know? The answer is not to know.
well, no,
sometimes it's better not to know.
Granted, it's better not to know, but the thing is, she should have a relationship with her brother. Fuck Chris, fuck him. He's a dick. He's an asshole in this situation. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well,
but denying your brothers because you're pissed at your dad is just as bad as what your dad did to you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, though, you are not a spiteful person. It's sounding like she thinks she might be.
Yeah.
I have dealt with spiteful people, and when you're that way, the best thing you can do for somebody is stay the hell away from them, especially if it's the person that you are spiteful towards.
Agreed. Do a quick palate cleanser because
I've got a palate cleansing advice column.
Go ahead, James.
Oh God.
This comes from Slate.
Oh Lord.
Oh boy.
My husband and I are considering having kids, and he's a great guy, great husband, but I worry about what kind of father he'll be.
But he's a terrible asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He's utterly disturbingly blasé about injuries, especially his own. A
I
few
thought we were
weeks
say
ago,
black.
He's only black.
Right there.
Yeah, he's totally black about injuries, especially his own. A few weeks ago, while we were
isn't
both
black
working
about
up-
their own injuries.
I mean, I'm always black about my own injuries, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit if I get, a minor injury. I'm not going to be too worried about it.
we're
Black,
both working
white,
from
doesn't matter
home.
as long as the bandage works.
Exactly.
Oh,
He made some coffee and he spilled it on himself when trying to pour. Ultimately, it caused a second-degree burn along his arm. The sum total of his immediate reaction was to hiss and wipe it up with a paper towel, then pour some cold water on it.
So first aid.
And I had to badger
Okay.
him to get the burn looked at. He thought it wasn't a big deal and, quote, I've been hurt worse than this. He grew up in an abusive household and has quite a few scars. I don't want to judge him for
Yes, you
parental
do.
abuse, but I have severe worry that it's badly warped his notion of what is and isn't a big deal when it comes to physical harm. He's always been good about reacting when I've gotten hurt, but he doesn't know a decent amount of first aid, and I worry that any child we have will get hurt from ordinary childhood injuries. And
Kids
he'll
get
just
hurt all the
have a
time.
bandage
It's
on
part of
it.
being a kid.
Honestly, you know what? No, I think this is what I think. I think this author or advice seeker is, she's looking for any excuse not to have a child with this man.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried that he'll just slap a bandage on it or at some home fix that on things instead of taking them to a doctor or treating it like it's totally not a big deal.
So
And I don't want to
instead of
break up with
overreacting
him.
like a woman, he's going to react like a man, and that's a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. How dare you treat yourself after burning yourself?
Yeah.
No, she's afraid that he'll blow off his kid getting injured.
I mean, depending on the injury.
And yet he cared for her when she got hurt. I
don't think it's that way.
No,
But
obviously, it depends on the extent of the injury. If it's a broken leg, you don't just ignore it and tell him to walk it off.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I was gonna say,
I'm
I
gonna brush
think
this one off.
I think she's trying to go down the whole. She thinks it's gonna be like Christopher Titus's dad. You know, the whole like, don't be a wussy. Wasn't like, you know, your kid hits his head on the table and starts crying like, hey, don't be a wussy. It's like, no, I could get my arm ripped off by a combine. My dad would go find the arm, duct tape it back on, and be like, all right, don't be a wussy. And you're like, oh, I can still play sucker, father. I never more wussy shall I be. Although I can't play goalie.
Oh, jeez.
I
Yeah.
love Christopher Titus.
Like kids get injured all the time, and it's usually very minor. Like if I grazed my knee as a kid, you don't need to rush me to the doctor. You know what it is. It's just a graze. It'll heal on its own. You don't need to panic over every minor, minor bump and bruise that a kid cops over its childhood.
See, and that's a great thing about having a dad is because I hear they're the type of figure that'll sit there and stay calm and go, "You're going to be fine," and inside their heads they've already shit all over themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
when it comes
pretty
to
much
something
it.
big. You know, he's going to
there's
stay calm for the kid's sake because he knows that as long as the kid's calm, he's going to be calm. You know, everything's just going to go smooth.
If the kid sees you freaking out, the kid is going to freak out because it thinks, shit, this must be a big deal.
We've all seen the kid that's like the young kid that's like falling over and hit themselves, and they kind of look. It's like they kind of fall over and they kind of look around to see how they're supposed to react. Like,
like what's going on? They go ahead and play, and they're like, all right, I'm going to go back to play.
Pretty sure since Johnny's got kids, he's seen it personally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have nephews. I've watched these little sons of bitches hit each other in the dick.
Oh, jeez.
I watched this happen today during my mother's birthday party. I went into where they were playing. They were supposed to be watching the Cuphead cartoon. And they're sitting there on the bed just punching each other in the dick for no reason. I'm going,
kids are going to be kids.
Now that's where the boys will be boys thing comes in.
Yes, that is what boys will be boys actually means. Not it's okay to rape women. That means that, roughhousing is okay.
Yeah, I've been slammed on. I've been run across a nail before playing with my cousins.
My boys watch America's Funniest Home Videos religiously, and one of the videos they show on there, this kid's like, "All right, we're gonna. I have a surprise for you," and he's like, "What?" And he just like boots him like square in the crotch. And then like the kid runs off and he's like, wait, now it's my turn. And then he like chases after him. Like, like that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Shut up. I'm trying to watch Owl with my balls.
Wow.
Yeah.
For, like,
look, French and for it. I'll go first.
Boys roughhousing is just their nature. You can't stop it, and nor should you. Just, if they get out of hand, reel them back in, but you can't just stop them from being boys.
Yeah.
We are not defective girls, and girls are not defective boys.
You know what the funny thing is? The roles are reversed with my nephews. My sister's live-in, the boy's father. He's the girl. If the boys get dirty, he immediately wants to take them and clean them up and all that, and make them all pristine and all that shit.
Ugh.
My sister's like, get out there and get dirty.
Yeah.
But then again, when we were kids,
don't touch grass.
The street that we lived on, when it rained, it would flood, and me and my sister would get out there and play in it. As long as it wasn't lightning, I mean, what was the problem, right?
Yeah. I was just thinking, how I said if the parents, if the kid sees the parent freaking out, the kid is going to panic. I was just remembering of my own childhood. I remember one time I cut the back of my knees open, and I didn't even realize I was bleeding. I was just like in pain, but fine with it. And then Mum sees the trail of blood behind me and freaks out. So then I followed suit because it's like, oh shit, something bad must have happened.
That's adrenaline response. Like you were probably doing something you didn't realize because that adrenaline cocktail was cooking through your system.
What happened was I sat on this table and I didn't realize it was on wheels. So I just started rolling down a hill, but like not a hill, but like a slight incline, and banged into a wall. And then the edge of the table cut the back of my knees open. And it's like, it hurt, but I was like, whatever. And then Mum sees the blood and like freaks out. And so it's like, oh shit, something bad must be going on. And then I like, oh shit, what's wrong?
Yeah.
People don't know. Like that's continue, James, because I want to know what the
Yeah, she just wants to know if she should. She says she doesn't want to break up with him, but she also is not sure if how to bring it to his attention without sounding judgmental or hostile. And we've covered that already. Basically, you shut the fuck up because you have a double chromosome and let the adults handle it.
oh my.
Go ahead.
I would like to point out that I was actually the level head in my marriage.
As long as someone is.
And so I do kind of take offense at the double chromosome, shut the hell up and let the adults take care of it thing. But
damn.
Oh no, some men are giant synonymous pussies.
He wasn't a puss, but he was a dick. Like my daughter fell on a skateboard. We had told her not to get on the skateboard because she wasn't the most coordinated person in the world. But
you're gonna put your eye out, kid.
But she did it anyways. And she fell and promptly broke her arm. And instead of like assessing the situation, he just starts yelling at her about how we told her not to go on the skateboard. I'm like, can you calm down long enough for us to find out if she's okay before you start screaming at her about
the
not
broken arm takes
listening to
precedence
us,
over
please?
like,
But he was panicking, and the way he panicked was to lash out.
See,
you can punish her later. You take care of the broken arm. Once she's recovered from that, then you discipline her with like whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Priorities. There you go.
Yeah.
Priorities. Broken arm takes precedent over everything.
But he was like, I'm scared. It's her fault. I'm going to lash out. And I'm just like,
you do need
back
at least
off.
one parent to have a level head. Otherwise, things fall apart.
That seems to be a recurring theme in a lot of shit that we seem to be a level head. You know, calm down for like 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But James, go ahead. What is the
was this your daughter's response?
Great lady say.
Oh, I didn't check the response. I just wanted to know what y'all's opinion was.
That's wonderful.
Could not unmountain Dew.
Because honestly, it's like.
But yeah, like again, she seems like she wants an excuse not to do this. Maybe she's the one that's more panicky.
If you're at the point where you're trying to justify not having kids with someone, don't have kids with them.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's something that you're feeling that is telling you not to do it. So just
keep swallowing.
But she seems to be nitpicky. Like the article said, like she said.
I'm sure he's not going to smother my child.
Mm-hmm.
but you like the article said, the woman his injuries are okay. Ow, it hurt, but let me deal with it. And then when she got injured, he was, Captain Commando. Let's whisk you away to the nearest hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So he clearly knows his priorities. And when it's himself, he's like, oh well, ow, okay, let me deal with this.
No, but I think she's probably not ready to have kids if she's Like
I was gonna say
making up reasons not to have kids with this guy. I think she just doesn't want kids or doesn't want them with him, and she's just trying to make an excuse to get out of it.
I was gonna say it sounds more like she doesn't want kids and is using him as an excuse not to have them.
I concur.
I need to make a dear life advice.
Oh, there you go. You can run an advice column called Dear Alexander.
Midnight show life advice.
Okay, I got another one.
All right.
All right. I am a 68-year-old male. All my life, it's taken me a long time to climax. There have been a lot of times that my wife has told me, "Finish already."
Oh,
As
Jesus.
I've gotten older, it's taken even longer. However, when I masturbate, which is not often, it takes over 30 minutes to finish, if I finish at all. Hell, oftentimes I just give up. When my wife and I have sex, I have to fake a climax because I no longer have the strength to have sex to completion. I don't think my wife knows I'm faking it since we have a retrograde ejaculation and have had that for 40 years. I also don't think it's related to medication or mental issues, since I said it's been an issue since I was 15. Is there any hope for me?
No.
Wow.
It's 68.
I
You're
agree
asking
with
if
no
there's
on the
any
grounds that
fucking
they're
hope?
writing to an advice column.
What he should have done?
It's called
he
Go
got
See a
taken care of
Doctor.
when he was
Thanks.
15, or not 15, but 20.
You know, dear old man,
Yeah.
you're 68 and you're just now wondering if there's any fucking hope? You're not 38 years too fucking late, man.
Yeah, you are past the point of no return.
Oh, man.
I
mean,
Those are some old
motherfucker.
sperm kids you're trying to hatch there.
Now, if she came
Wow.
up knocked up and you didn't finish, you know there's some funny shit.
that kid ain't mine.
That reminds me of this joke. Husband and wife, couple. They've been married 40 fucking years.
Oh, I know that joke.
They've always had sex with the lights off and all that. And one day,
Oh, no.
one night, the wife gets curious and she turns on the lamp in the middle of it, and he's using a cucumber on her. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" He says, "How long has this been going on since we've been married?" He says, "You've lied to me this long?" He says, "Oh, you want to talk about lies? Whose kids are those?"
Good point.
Oh, no.
I heard it. I've heard it differently. I've heard it like you. I'll explain the cucumber. You explain the kids.
Uh-huh.
But it does remind me there was a thing where like write on this piece of paper something that your partner doesn't know about you, and the man writes "I'm infertile" and the woman writes "I'm pregnant."
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh,
They got the little
no.
freaking like the little chalkboards, and it's like it's
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing where they're like shushing and whatnot, and she's like, "I'm pregnant." Switch to music. I'm infertile.
Yeah.
I'm sterile. It also goes back as to like the freaking one, the picture where they show them at the beach and it's a couple and there's this dog staring at the dude because like they have a black child that's a white couple, and it's like, and then it shows down to the next picture and it's just like, you need to start asking questions, Dave.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture of where there's a guy. He's it says he's been deployed for like 13 months and he just met his newborn child.
Yeah.
I loved it because when I was working for a contractor,
Mm-hmm.
this guy, his name was Saul. and
Oh,
his
no.
wife lived in Mexico.
Mm.
He was on here on a work visa. And Saul says, "I love my wife." Says, "That's cool. I've only been married for 20 years." Says, "I go home once a year. I stay there a month. I come back." Okay. Every year she gives me new baby, and I see my new baby every year for 20 years. Sometimes I don't go home, and she still give me baby. Say, I love my wife.
Okay, but your wife don't love you.
Oh, she loves him and everybody else.
I was gonna say, it's not that she doesn't love him; it's that she
Like this.
can't keep her legs closed. But
She's the village bicycle.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm not saying I approve. I'm saying some people are fucked up.
I think the problem is in today's society, most women most young women anyway are the like everyone's the town bicycle. Like
Because they're encouraged to be whores.
Well,
Yeah.
that sexual liberation thing is what kind of caused it and whatnot. And
Well,
I know I've said this before. I think it was on Toasty's stream, one of hers way back when. If she wants to do that, she has every right to, and really no one can stop her. But she has to understand that there are going to be men that are not going to be with her because of it.
Right.
if I see it,
So that's why they invented slut shaming, so they can try and pressure men into being with whores who would otherwise find whores repulsive as like girlfriends.
And we once again referenced Terry's tweet from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
if I see a Queen of Spades tattoo,
He essentially just tweeted out that he didn't want to sleep with whores.
Yeah.
And like it blew up. Like
That's it.
Wait. I have a saying for that. A hit dog will always yell.
But yeah, no, I forget the context for like who I was replying to or why I brought it up. But yeah, I basically just said that I don't particularly find the thought of sleeping with a whore all that appealing. And then I got slut shaming,
Was
blah
it-
blah blah.
Was it an article frosted right on the corner?
No, this was on Twitter.
no, it was they were talking about body
What made
counts.
you respond to that? Was his question.
I was pretty much like, it could have been an article frosted right on the corner.
Like I'm sure if we dug far enough, we could probably find it, but it's a
It'll
lot
take
of
a
digging.
while.
This is
Unless someone is actually good at Twitter searching and knows how to just like search for my name and the word whore, and I'm sure it'll be a lot easier to find.
Terry Diamantis horse and search.
whore.
I don't want to put in that search.
I do.
I mean,
First result, do you have
find
a
me
foot
talking
fetish?
about whores, so
Right?
Let me see. Terry Alt 4. You just don't bring any whores with you. I've been told they have loose lips that sink ships. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Terry doesn't like sleeping with whores. Hashtag Council Terry.
Aw.
Wait a minute. How long ago was this?
a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3.
I'm sure I'd rather she fame whore her good
From a
deeds.
suspended account.
Huh?
From a suspended account, I did find it.
Yeah, no, I found it. So it says, I don't know what I was replying to, but it says there may not be a biological difference but there is a character difference, and the kind of woman who is happy to bang 50 different guys does not have a character I would be compatible with. That's what I said. Because they were saying there's no biological difference between a virgin and a whore, basically.
There is.
Well, I don't know when they introduced bookmarking, but that's been bookmarked 5 times.
Wow.
Again, a key that can open any lock is a great key. A lock that will open for any key is a shitty lock.
Sure. But their point is basically saying that virginity is not real in the sense that there's no biological difference between a woman who hasn't had sex and a woman who has had sex with like 50 men. That's what they're trying to argue. And it's like, I don't care if there's a biological difference or not. I don't want to sleep with a whore.
I mean, have you ever tried to throw a hot dog down a hallway?
Yeah.
It's not hard. Pretty easy.
That is one of the replies. Someone named Amelia said, let's not forget the physical difference too, LEL. And it's just someone throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
There is the whole aspect as well that you do run into some not compatibility issues. Oh, God damn it. Now I can't remember the terms. Son of a bitch. Go on. I'll think of it at some point.
Yeah. Someone's having a go at me. You can be a virgin and a terrible, morally corrupt, empty, manipulative person. Unlearn your internalized misogyny and do better. Sex is human nature and is not a reflection of character. You can have sex to have sex.
Oh, shit.
Pair bonding.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of.
That's the one.
My favorite isn't the hot dog down the hallway. My favorite to really piss some people off is to say throwing a micro machine into the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Lord.
But you know what I just realized?
Wow.
They said internalized misogyny. They must think I'm a woman. Like if they realized I was a man, it'd just be misogynist. It wouldn't be internalized. It'd just be misogyny.
Internalized misogyny is like internalized racism. It doesn't fucking exist. Like you can. People are fucking retards, and that shit pisses me off to no end. Just because you don't like what I said doesn't make it. Oh, you got internalized misogyny. You got internalized, racism. No, you just don't like the fuck I just said. I think you're stupid.
Well, a lot of people are stupid.
Sure.
Like, you just don't like it.
The biggest issue, and this is a personal opinion of mine, is the fact that we've raised too many girls to say that they deserve everything, they should be allowed to do anything, and that they should be accepted for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it typically comes to boys, it's like, well, if you can't provide or do X, you're worthless.
Yeah. No, I mean, society will bail women out of pretty much every bad decision that they make. As Pearl keeps pointing out on her show.
And it always gets like us to go to Kevin Samuels and that whole thing.
Yeah.
It always gets brought up of like, men will date a broke woman or a broke woman.
A broke woman will never date a broke man.
And I still think the best meme I ever saw to where a dude was looking at, there's a dude asked a chick and he's just like, would you ever date a broke woman or a broke man? And she brings up all these reasons of why she wouldn't and whatnot. And he's like, well, you do realize in this situation between us, you're kind of the broke dude to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I realized? This is another thing I realized. Every man has his general preferences, right? Like, you don't have to be amazingly pretty to attract a man. Like, but a woman you gotta make 6 figures, you gotta have a car, you gotta sell your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
8 feet tall,
my
thick
man
like
to
a
have a
goddamn
soul.
dragon. Huh? What's that?
I prefer my man to have a soul, thank you.
No, for real.
So why are you dating
James?
Sorry about that.
James has no
James
soul.
has all of the souls.
if a woman, barring some sort of massive physical deformity, wants sex, a woman can get sex. I mean, it won't be with a man that's up to her standards necessarily, but if all she wants is sex, it's very easy for women to get sex. But the thing is that men control relationships, so you can be a whore and get all the sex you want, but it'll be very difficult to turn that into a relationship because men will just say no.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't get a quality man to have a relationship with your horse ass. Like, our society is literally broken. Like, we've crossed the Rubicon and we're now Roman orgy territory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just waiting for the fucking barbarians to burn down the gates.
No, I think this is the natural sort of cycle where society will progress and progress and progress to the point where life is too easy, and then people get lazy and decadent, and then they don't support all the things necessary to prop up the civilization, and it collapses. And we're just in the decline of our current civilization at the moment.
That sucks.
It does, but I mean, every society seems to go through this cycle where you build yourself up until you're very prosperous, and then people take that prosperity for granted because that's the only thing they've ever known. They haven't known the struggle to get there because they were born into this prosperous society, and because they take it for granted, they don't support it, and it collapses. And then, the next civilization has to rise from nothing, and then
From what's left,
the cycle
yeah.
continues.
I'm just hoping that America 2 will be better than America 1.
I mean, America 1 was pretty awesome. It's just that, as I said, you guys are in the downslide. Western civilization as a whole is in decline, and, you had a couple hundred years, I believe. Pretty good.
200. We had about close to 250, if I'm not mistaken.
I still blame it on a lot of it on the know your worth bullshit.
I blame on know your truth. Like, live your truth. There is no live your. You don't have a truth.
That's the other part of it. But the whole know your worth is, and it sounds kind of mean, but it kind of goes back to some of the quotes that like should have never been made popular. Like one of the main ones that came from Game of Thrones, other than the Peter Dinklage, I drink and I know things, and I'd say at least 80% of the jackasses I've heard say that. It's like, dude, I've seen you. You're a functional retard at best.
I actually used that one.
But the biggest one I've heard, and this comes typically from a lot of women, is if you want a whore, buy her. If you want a queen, earn her. And my response to that one is always, so how much do you cost?
Yeah.
Oof.
$10 a month if you go to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it goes to that whole thing of just there are far too many women who think that they are higher than they are.
Oh, yeah.
Like there are a lot of women who think that they should get a, Chris Evans, Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, Michael Jai White, Chris Pratt, those types of guys that are just super attractive and be considered like extremely hot.
Well, just look at that Whatever podcast where the guy asks the women to rate themselves, and they always give themselves a 10.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these are not 10s.
All right, so I've learned this. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to be honest. I have a thing for bigger women. It's just my thing. So a bigger woman will rate higher for me than a thinner woman.
Makes sense.
But women, they all have this unified definition: 6'5", 7-figure income, shit like that.
Well, the taller thing typically does have to do with the thing of like it is more of a genetic thing, and that of the person who is bigger, you're more likely to think that they are more likely to protect you.
Sure.
It's just the problem is there's too many women that realize they're not taller than a dude who's 5'8", but they still think they have to be with that 6-foot guy because they're
But
an
the
idiot.
the other thing is, it used to be that something like money would be enough compensation. Like you have enough money, you can protect someone, and it used to be women would recognize that, okay, he's not 7 foot tall, but he makes enough money to take care of me and my, and the kid that we're going to
And
have
our
together.
children.
That should be that is protection. That used to be enough, and women have just raised their standards to absurd levels because dating apps encourage it, basically.
Yeah, well, it's because when it comes to the money thing, there has been the whole thing of, well, there are these women who, they're making up the high 5 figures and like low 6 figures, if not mid to high 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
What are the men they are looking for? They're looking still for men who make more money than them,
Absolutely.
which is
I think it's
an
20%. They want
ex-
20% more than they're making.
yeah, which is an extremely small thing for someone who makes in the U.S. I don't know about Australia, that makes over $100,000 a year is in the top 10% of earners, men and women, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
And
probably similar down here, but our money's worth less. So the number might be slightly higher because you need more Australian dollars to get the same value as a US dollar kind of thing. So the numbers might be slightly higher, but we're about equivalent to Canada in terms of our dollar.
Shit, I just got a raise, and I'm only making about 70,000 a year.
Dude,
that's pretty good. That's
last
pretty
year,
good.
like I still had to pay, or will be paying the federal government $808, and that whole thing getting a little bit back from state tax. Was this year or last year was the first year in my life, and at 36, I finally made over $40,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean,
In the military, I like getting to staff sergeant. Sorry to cut you off, Jerry. I finally, after 12 years being in, had made $36,000 in a year.
Yeah, when I was working, I was only making 55, which in American money is probably closer to 50. I mean, making 100 grand is quite difficult.
I only just started making 40.
Yeah,
I made 21 this year.
God
or
damn
last year.
I've been there.
that's why my inheritance was like such a godsend, was because I'm getting like 40K a year from my investments, that from like investing the money I inherited, and that's not that much less than I was getting for working. And like it would be a lot harder if I was making 100,000, dropping down to 40 would be very difficult, but dropping from like 55 to 40 is very easy.
Well, that's why there are people who will criticize those in Congress, like for AOC, when she's like, we need to make more money being in Congress. We might have to make dark money. It's like, sweetheart, you became part of the federal government just by getting I can't remember. She's a representative, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She still makes, I think it's $160,000 a year just by becoming a representative of her state. She joined the top 10% of earners.
Yeah, no.
She makes fucking almost 4 times as much as I do in a year.
Yeah.
Bitch, what?
Enough. She needs more.
Well, see,
Yeah, 'cause she's a greedy cunt.
I kind of look at it like
most
this.
commies are.
Yeah.
I have a job perspective right now to where I can make at $15 an hour, work 60 hours a week. That would be working 6 days, and
10-hour
end up
days.
making about 93,000 a year. Now you tell me, if I go from 21 to 93, let's say that I indulge a little, and I take $30,000 just in for myself per year.
Mhm.
That's still $60,000 a year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ask me what I can do with that shit.
It's that whole thing. Go ahead, Terry.
People don't seem to realize how easily you can live on like not low income, but like modest income. As long as you can live within your means, you don't need that much money
You don't.
to get
Oh,
by.
All
right
right,
there.
so let me explain something really quick to everybody. I when I do my bills for the year, I like to see the numbers, right? And my bills for the year is exactly 10,000 and some change. All my bills for the year, like rent, mortgage, phone, electricity, internet, and water bill. Always total up to about maybe 12. It'll be 12 this year, from what I'm seeing. But
Okay.
it's not that much. And again, 12 from what, 52? I still got 40,000 to fuck around with. You know? So living within your means is very much possible on a low figure income, like 21. But these whores they're not making any money, and they want some guy to make all the money so they can go out and spend his money.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
since we jumped into a thing, I might have a bit of a tangent. We're going to see how long I can go on this. But okay, I'm going off what my parents taught me. It's not to try to live within your means. It's trying to actually live below your means. That should always be your goal. Your first goal should always be whenever a month comes up, all your bills are always paid first. That's the first thing.
Yep.
After
Of
that
course. Yeah.
is then food, obviously.
Yep.
And the problem is, because of all the dumb shit we've seen on there, we have too many people that believe they need to live above their means because they need to present something. And I grew up in an area to where, like, you either were poor, okay, kind of rich, or you looked like you were rich because you were actually in debt to your fucking eyes to present that you had money.
Fuck that
Yeah.
shit.
That was a
That's
lot of
stupid.
people. And that because they don't teach kids this, everyone, and because of just whatever we want to put out there and everything, everyone thinks they have to go for the most expensive shit. If they're not going for the most expensive thing, obviously the rest of it's not worth it. And
Yeah.
none of them are ever taught, like I said, to live below their means. They can actually, have money.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need fancy food as long as like it doesn't have. You don't have to eat bland, boring food.
A
But
lot of it isn't even
Don't
the
have to be
fancy
Gunski.
food. It's the fancy clothes that are overpriced
well,
for no
that is
fucking
just
reason.
luxury. You
It's the
should be.
fancy cars.
Yeah.
All that
or
stuff is very easy to cut out.
Yeah.
You know, why every other weekend you're going to Miami or whatnot?
Well,
Yeah.
this was like
complaining about you don't have money.
I know this was like being in the military and dealing with some of the people that I talked to, and you'd hear them be like, "Oh man, dude, I don't know why I'm so broke, bro. Because you go to the bar Friday and Saturday and you spend a minimum of $150 to $200 every fucking day there."
That'll do it.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
But to me, it was always just common sense not to spend money that you don't have. Like it just like ever since I was a kid, it just made sense that if you can't afford something, you can't have it.
Or you save up for it.
Yeah. But you can't have it right now. Like
Yeah.
you don't have the money, you can't have it. You have to get the money.
That's another thing about our generation, Rodden. We don't have delayed gratification. We need it now. Not the two of us, or name one, but I'm saying like they don't have the concept of delayed gratification.
No, because of just that's a hard thing to kind of argue with, because I've seen that type of shit from because I've worked retail, I've hung around restaurants for when I was hanging out with friends who work there and whatnot, and even being in the military. So I've seen boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Zers that are patient, willing to work for something, and then I've seen all of those as well that are the most, why don't I have this now? Why do I have to wait for this? Why are you making me wait? What is your problem? I should be getting served right now.
I think that there's definitely people like that in every generation, but I do think the current generation is more incentivized to act that way.
Yeah, Amazon
Yeah.
Prime has kind of ruined a lot of us.
Yeah.
And
Like
good
they're
internet.
used to getting what they want when they want it, whereas in previous generations you could be an entitled dickhead, but there was only so much that you could do to get what you want when you want it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a lot easier in today's society.
All right, wait a minute. I have a video that I wanted to show because I found this and this shit is fucking dumb. This bitch shit deserves nothing. Hold on, let me put it up. Let me get it.
Cool.
Shift, present, share screen.
And I do think Pokemon needs to release Charleston Zardsworth III in the next game.
Yes.
Yes. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Share. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
It's loading. Okay, it's here.
Let me
It's
turn it. Let me
pixelated, but
unmute.
that's how things go sometimes.
Wait a minute. Let me.
This Sunday, but I already paid $800 my toxic cousin.
Y'all hear it?
Uninvited
Yes.
vacation. That's literally this Sunday, but I already paid $800 to fly to in Maine because she didn't like my outfit. This is a dress. It's literally $3,000. Yves Saint Laurent. Can't return it. He's insisting that it is too white. This is a white piece of paper. Are these the same color? Literally no. This is a cream dress. It is also knee length. Is she gonna wear a knee length wedding dress? Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, Janelle, if you're seeing this, I hope your wedding sucks and you get divorced.
Did
What a bitch.
this bitch get a white dress to wear to somebody else's wedding?
Yes.
I think I have the perfect thing for this, and here it is right now. Honestly, you can get rid of the second part, and it's just the first.
Yeah.
No, wait, Andrew, hold on. That was a cream dress. It wasn't white. It was
That
cream.
was an off-white dress, which is the same as a fucking white dress.
Honestly, it kind of looked like the Bukkake dress.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
You're welcome for putting that image in your heads.
Mhm.
Oh man, but she paid. Oh, I paid $3,000 for. I can't return it.
Because she's an
You
idiot.
spent $3,000 on a white dress for somebody else's fucking wedding. You're a moron. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
don't
not.
apologize for telling the truth.
I like that. Angela's the first to be like, I'm sorry. The rest of us are like, why?
All right, I'm going to implement a no apology rule.
Yes, I think more streams need a no apology rule.
I'll do my best.
But it's
Just do your worst.
do your worst. Oh man, it is why. Like, how dumb are you? A $3,000. And it goes to what we were saying. What you don't you said you can't. She can't return it. It's for a single wedding. You're
Who spends a okay? For starters, you should not spend more than $500 on a dress for an event where somebody else is supposed to look better than you.
Honestly, I don't think you should spend
And
that
that's
much.
if you even spend that much. If I'm getting a
Yeah,
dress
I
for a
would say
wedding,
50
I'm probably
bucks.
getting something off of I'm
Don't
probably
spend more
getting
than $50
something.
on a dress.
I'm going
I'm
to
probably-
Walmart and getting some nice slacks, a nice shirt, and a tie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm a girl. I can't get those things and be accepted in a wedding. Thank
Yes,
you.
you can. They're just going to think you're the lesbian there.
Mhm.
I would rather not do that.
Well, with a tie, they might think, okay, you're just going with that because you don't like how you look in a dress. You have to wear a bow tie for the whole and like some
No,
Converse. Or like, she's a
call
lesbian.
yourself
And wants everyone
Angelo.
to know.
You'll be fine.
What?
Call yourself Angelo. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
For that wedding, you went male.
But what I was saying is, I go on Rosegal, I get a dress for like $30. I get shoes for $20 at Walmart. Borrow a bag from my roommate, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. Like, you don't need, like, just what we were saying, living above your means. There was no reason for you to buy that's essentially she bought a wedding dress. That is a fucking wedding dress.
Yeah.
Like you cannot
I disagree with that. She is right about like the length of the dress and stuff like that.
I've seen low cut wedding dresses. That's a knee length wedding dress.
That looked more like a sundress to me.
That was more like something she should have worn when she was 12 to like her first communion. But
Or quinceañera. I don't know.
that would work too, actually.
But that is ridiculous. And I have a few more I would love to show you, lovely people. This one I wanted to punch this kid. This one,
Tears beating children again. Let's see what's going on.
Shut it.
Look, wanting to hit a child is very different from actually hitting the child.
But I wanted to do it. This one hurt my soul. Let me see. Yeah, this one. Can y'all see it?
For the most part.
I can see it.
My asshole is burning!
What the hell?
It's coming out!
Did you have any questions?
That's not funny.
Yeah, it is.
That's very rude and disrespectful.
Ever.
And actually kind of feels this way.
What?
I already
Ever.
You see why I wanted to punch that kid?
What the hell just happened?
That's more than a punch.
So
That's
he
adorable.
goes and
make mental institutions great again, or asylums.
It's a TikTok prank. He went into a bathroom and he started screaming bloody murder, like, oh, my asshole's on fire, it hurts, it's coming. Like he just screamed as loud as fuck. And then he's going to come out, because I'm assuming his friend is filming this shit while he's sitting there, right? For TikTok. And he's going to come out and the two women are going to confront him. Oh, whatever. It was funny, And they're like, no, it wasn't fucking funny. We didn't enjoy this. Whatever. We're going to have to actually leave the store.
I think my current picture explains it.
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
It's like those YouTubers that do the YouTube pranks.
Oh yeah. Well, some of them used to do it and it was okay. This is more almost it seems like they're gonna end up on the verge of like the guy who ended up getting shot, who pulled YouTube pranks of like he would go like one of his things he showed for a video was like if someone would be at a store and they would have already paid for stuff and they'd be getting ready to leave and he'd just like walk up and take the thing and be like, yeah, I'm taking this. And it's like, okay, that'd be kind of funny if you're pulling it out of their cart in like the middle of the aisle or something, but at that point you're being nothing but a thief because they've already paid for it. Technically it's theirs.
Yeah. Or like the two YouTubers that are going to jail for a fake robbery. Like they came. They didn't have actual guns, but they were holding up the store. I think it was a Walmart.
Oh my God, Dave Chappelle called this.
What?
Probably.
Oh, he in Chappelle show, he actually did the one where he's making fun of Jamie Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the pranks, quote unquote, was him robbing a bank. And they had this guy run through with squibs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, it's a prank. And then like one of the cops comes in. He's like, oh, we're just filming a prank show. And like one of the cops just takes him in the leg. Oh, God.
It's just a prank, bro.
He's like, this wasn't part of the thing. Like Chappelle just drops everything and just takes off running.
It's just a prank, bro. Is up there with Hold My Beer.
No, Hold My Beer usually at least is comical. This is just Darwinism.
What's another? All right, so if say you and your friend Me and you, Rodden, we have a prank war going on. It's just between the two of us. We know that we're doing this between the two of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one's getting hurt, or even if it is a painful thing, it's not permanent. It's mild pain. It's nothing serious. Those are good. I like those. Those are fucking funny, especially between two friends who knows what's going on. But when you do it to unsuspecting people who don't want to be bothered,
Yeah.
like if I'm sitting on the bus and someone pulls a prank, I don't want to fucking deal. I'm trying to get to work. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm in Walmart shopping, to get shit. I don't want to deal with your bullshit right now. I just want to get my shit, go home.
That's how you get shot.
That's how somebody got shot. And I don't think they should blame the guy that shot him. They were fucking with him.
Well, that's like, okay, to go to something that's extremely stupid that usually men have done. Back when I was still in my like late teens, so I was around 18, 19, I worked at my local Sam's Club and I worked in the tire department.
Mm-hmm.
And for some odd reason, we all decided we were going to go with the thing of seeing like who could ass punch the other and whatnot.
What?
Don't ask.
It's
But-
a man thing.
Yeah, it was one of those things that's like the
It's a guy
general rules were to try to keep it to where, customers didn't see that we were just being a bunch of jackasses. And one of them caught me right as I went to have to deal with a customer. So I got that whole like getting punched in the ass. And it's just like, how can I help you? And I told my boss, because like they watched it and they saw me like grit and just fight through it. And they're like, okay, I kind of like this dude. And like and it was my boss. And he's like the whole day, I was like, dude, you got to realize I'm going to get you back. And he's like, no, you won't.
Be sweet.
And he tries this whole thing of like, he's always watching me and whatnot and like jumping in that one for a bigger guy. Like he didn't really do that. And then at one point, he leans over these tires and everyone looks at me. I just give him this look like, oh yeah, it's about to happen. I get to get the whole from right field wind up. I hit him with just the knuckles of my right hand. And it's not one of those ones to where it just hits and impacts. I caught him and drug down 6 inches of his ass.
Oh,
as
shit.
absolutely hard as I could. So it's like I'm getting gravity with me as everything. Like I got the full windmill lineup.
Oh my god!
Like I probably could have done a cartwheel off that hit.
God damn!
And this dude literally jumped over the tires, and the rest of the guys are trying so hard not to laugh. And he's like, "All right, the ass punching is done." They're like, "Yeah." He won. And I was like, I told you I'd get. It's like I wasn't going to get even. I was going to make it worse.
Yeah, but see, that was between you and your coworkers, and you all agreed to do it. You were all in it together. Versus some dickweed, bothering you in the store. Putting a bucket on your head.
Or jackass playing
it
the
would be
knockout
different.
game.
It would be very different if he was doing that to customers as opposed to his co-workers who were involved in the thing.
Yeah.
Or just going into a store and being a jackass to people.
Yeah.
Like it was one thing I saw where the guy he got into a fight in a Home Depot. Like he hit somebody with something, and like the old guy was fucking him up.
Oh no!
Yeah, like it was a Home Depot. Like he slammed on the ground, just started wailing. Like, don't fuck with me. Like, yeah.
I know the absolute
Yes,
absolute best one I ever saw, and I can't remember where it was actually located. But it was one of those like you should learn who you're fucking with. But a guy, I think he was like holding up a store or whatnot. And there was an older guy there, and he's just like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. And the dude who's doing that, like he goes to leave and like pushes the old dude for no reason, just to like try to establish dominance. Well, he didn't realize that this old dude was also a former Navy Golden Glove.
Oh,
So on the comeback, the older gentleman hits him once. And have you ever seen the little short video of like the karate thing or whatever, where the dude gets kicked and it shows like because of how he gets kicked, he basically looks like he bows and then falls over.
Mhm.
It was basically like that. Like he basically folds. Like the dude literally gets pushed, uses the momentum, come back, hits him in the jaw once with his right hand, and you just see the dude who was that total jackass collapse.
Again,
Damn.
You know what that reminds me of? There's this film director called Uwe Boll who makes the
Oh,
worst
Lord.
movies ever. And anyone who gives him a negative review, he challenges them to a boxing match. And what he doesn't tell them is that he's an amateur boxer.
Mhm.
So they accept thinking it's just going to be like for show and it's just mucking around. And then he's like an amateur boxer.
Yeah.
And then he accidentally challenged Sean Baby, who is like a trained MMA fighter. And he's just like, let's do this. And then Uwe Boll finds out, is like, you know what? We don't have to do this. I changed my mind. We don't have to fight.
Uwe Boll is such a pussy.
I don't necessarily think he's a pussy. I think he's a jackass.
He's
And
an
that,
tough
and
guy.
I think well, I also understand that because for the longest time they kind of used where he worked for movies and whatnot as a tax haven because most of the movies he made were never meant to make money.
No, they were tax writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like his variation of I think it was House of the Dead was terrible. It's one of the easiest ones to say the sequel was actually better than the original.
Wow.
The sequel is a sci-fi original, and they have like this loose portion that it's like, okay, this is what ties it to the original. Because like the original was such crap of the whole fact that like at one point they just basically like were cut like as like the main characters that were surviving or going through and just like shooting the shit out of zombies. They were quite literally cutting in gameplay footage.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
Stupid. Like
Sounds
that.
fun to me.
Like Uwe Boll, right in the dick, James. Damn.
What? Oh.
Everyone thinks they're hard till they're eating cereal and a duck bites their penis.
Wow.
I gotta.
How often do you experience that, Rotten?
Me, luckily, never.
Not that he's confessing.
Yeah.
Johnny, I can't read your comic because it's too small.
Let's see if I can
Enlarge it.
That's what she said.
That's a good one, Angela.
I almost said it.
Yeah, no. The longer you watch it, the more you want to laugh.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Huh.
Yeah, I think Rotten's getting excited.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, yeah. Polish that knob. Oh.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
Sorry, I just.
Oh.
There you go. I shared it too. Maybe
All
it'll
right.
be bigger that way.
We need some new TikTok trends. Frank.
Oh,
What did it
no.
say? Dancing?
Frank dancing something that isn't retarded.
There it is. I know I got it. Oh, this one. I wanted to read this one. So I have another one, and this one was a really good one. This one pissed me off to no end. What the fuck? Like they're fucking deleting in all the good ones.
Aw, that sucks.
All right, this is at least a decent one. All right, let me close out some of these. Close out that one. Those. All right. Am I the asshole for not
Yes.
detailing my rule? Am I the asshole for not detailing my rules to my sister involving her undisciplined kids? I, 40-year-old male, 40-year-old, have a sister, 39, who has 2 kids, 8-year-old male and 10-year-old male. I have 4 kids, and as you can imagine, my hands and time are full. My wife and I try to do our best, keeping our parenting skills in line with strict guidelines and understandable consequences. We put a lot of work into this and are quite happy with our kids, how our kids treat others and us. More importantly, we have our own set of rules and parenting styles that took years for our kids to learn and obey. I feel quite comfortable in knowing that I can and cannot trust what I can and cannot trust them with. My sister and her husband, however, run a different, and he puts in quotation marks, parenting style. You probably know the style I'm about to describe. Phrases like boys will be boys and oh, they're just kids get blurted out every time we notice their behavioral problems followed by their minimal attempt at discipline. We both came from pretty strict parents, so it's quite strange to observe, but honestly, that's her life decision, not ours. However, when they come to our house, I have to constantly keep an extra eye out for what her 2 children are doing at almost every minute. If not, I'll catch them breaking any of the rules I've set for them. As you can imagine, they lack the responsibility to ever be left alone. Today, she and her boys were visiting us outside. The house is locked on purpose, except for the side door. I've made it clear to the boys and my sister that there was no need to go inside. Mind you, I sit at a point where I can see this. I can still see this door. In fact, at one point, I personally catch one of them attempting to go in, and I had to reiterate the rule. Reiterate the rule. I simply don't want them to be in there by themselves. We have bathrooms nearby, and all meals are prepared outside in the yard. It's nice outside as well as hers, as expected. Maybe 10 minutes later, as we're talking, out the corner of my eye, I can see the same child of hers head to the side door. I yell out over the backyard, not inside. My sister, who was sitting a few feet away from me, got up from her chair and approached me, asking, "What's wrong? Why can't they go inside? What are they going to do?" I responded calmly, "Oh, nothing's wrong. I just don't want them in there. That's all." But it wasn't enough. She repeated, "I want to know why they can't go in. What will happen?" I responded, "I just don't want them getting into things I don't want them messing with." She responded, "Like what? What exactly in the house so I can tell them?" I looked at her with She stormed off to find her 2 children and left. I'm left in the backyard packing up the mess we left at the table. About 10 minutes later, I wrangle all my children back into the house. You can tell my sister is crying, but trying to hide it as a smile. My wife knows it too. Here's my question. After years of learning the hard way with both her kids and her emotion, am I the asshole?
No.
No.
And honestly, in that situation, if her sister was going to be like that, she should have said, "Okay, you're not welcome in my house until if your kids can't freaking shape up and respect my rules and you can't follow it, fuck them." Like, basically, I just have to say this.
Again, it's his house.
It's almost
His house
done.
in Milwaukee. Oh.
I think the rule is reasonable.
Oh,
Don't go
jeez.
inside.
Wow.
And the kids shall lead us.
Because
So the kids just have they done something before this?
Huh? Would you say
I-
rotten? Hellcat.
well, Johnny was asking if they'd done something before this, but it's pretty irrelevant in my opinion. Like, I understand kids can get into shit and it can irritate you and whatnot. And while they might not do anything, you're not wanting them in the house. You don't know what they're going to do. And the whole thing of, oh, what are they going to do? That's not an argument. It's not your home. It's not your house. If you don't want them in there, they don't have to be in there. And if the sister doesn't like that, she can fucking deal with it.
Yeah. His concept, his rules. He
I was gonna say, it's my house. I said I don't want anybody in there. Period.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. If you like, especially if you've got like stuff in the house that you don't want kids to break. I mean, not even if they might not. It doesn't matter. You're not comfortable with the risk, so you don't let them in. That's fine.
I think we've
I
read
mean,
this one before.
I'm going with house rules as per normal because that's that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
I guess.
Someone else's house, you follow their rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't just go the shit you can do in your own home. You can't do in someone else's. I can't walk around in my underwear in Hellcat's house. Oh well, it's not my house. I can't do that shit there. That the same goes for kids. Like you can't just run around tracking your muddy shoes in someone else's house. Probably can do it at yours, but you can't do it here.
You probably can't do it at yours either. You're just being a special dick because you're not home.
It's not your home, so you don't got to worry about cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
And
That's a
I
little
guess
harder,
my only real question was there something that was prompting them to go in the house? Or
They were
was it
told-
just something they were just wanting to go in the house?
It
I
sounded
thought
like
they just wanted to go in the house.
Yeah, it sounded like they were just wanting to go in the house because they were basically told no because the parents had a really laissez-faire attitude. So pretty much anyone who had anything that they would tell them they can't do, they want to do it just because it basically got them attention.
Yeah.
So they were more assholes than actual. Oh well, we want to go to the bathroom, but there's a bathroom outside. So why are you? So some kids need ass weapons.
Well, there's a big as I talked to one of the guys at my gym, an elder gentleman, there's a big difference between child abuse and discipline. And sometimes
sure.
and there is that whole thing. Sometimes the discipline has to be physical, and they have to understand that there's consequences to your actions. Not every kid can deal with getting put in timeout or knowing their parents aren't going to hit them, but wondering if they're going to forget that they're not supposed to hit them.
All right, so
Some of them just need that open hand across the ass.
I'm going to say this: the preface. This, I had no children. I have no kids. I have no stake in this game, but I do believe you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Well, I say that in a way because to kind of give a little of my background with how my father was for his family. When he was growing up, if one of the three kids, and he was the youngest of the three, got in trouble, all of them got an ass whooping. So he got more ass whoopings that weren't his fault because his older brother had a bit of a leg issue, so he was a mama's boy, and his sister, who was the middle child, obviously she's daddy's girl. So they would do shit, get in trouble. So when all of them would get an ass whooping, he'd get an ass whooping along with them. So because of that, he didn't want to do that to his kids. So, he did that whole thing of like breaking the cycle, but he still went through and had the whole thing of like, there are consequences for your actions. Like when me and my brother, we didn't clean up our toys because we just did whatever and whatnot. I want to say he got so irritated with it that he actually told us he would throw all of our toys away. And when we did it again, he picked up every single toy we had except for 10 green army men. And that's all we had to play with for like 6 months, because the general rule was that if you ask to get your stuff back, you've just added time to it.
Ouch.
And no. Here's the sad part that we found out later on. My dad forgot that he took that away from us.
Ouch.
My mom had to one day be like, so are you going to give their stuff back? And he's like, what? And he's just like, oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
But those 10 green army men were put away when we were done every time.
I bet they were.
Yeah. Those are the most put away 10 green army men ever. Fuck. That's mean.
Wow.
That's vicious.
How bad is the punishment when you forget it?
Oh my.
Like it's supposed to be a week, and he's like, shit. No,
There was something I was supposed to do today, but it'll come to me.
That's important. Now remember it.
Oh shit. So as a kid, I brought my mother home a single bad grade. She was a stickler. She demanded nothing but B's. I brought her home B's and A's and B's. I brought her home a C. She took my PlayStation. She hid it good. I couldn't fucking find it. She totally forgot where the fuck she put it and just bought me a new one.
Oh, depending on like what the actual freaking class was in that. My biggest issue was we had that all homework policy, and I just refused to do my homework 90% of the time.
I agree. I hate doing homework. If it can't be done at school, it's not work I want to do. No, fuck that shit.
Actually,
Go ahead, Angela.
the very last spanking I got was because report card time came, and my brother and I both got a bad grade. My brother got more bad grades than I did usually, but I got one that was pretty bad. And my mom's weapon of choice at the time was this leather Disney belt that my brother had that had it looked like a film reel with the Disney characters on it.
Really?
And the reason it was the last time I got my ass beat is because my mom, on one swing, it came down wrong, and I had an imprint of Goofy just above my ass for like 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, but that is funny.
So you had a goofy ass for a couple of
Remember,
weeks?
remember Rotten? No apologies. That shit was hilarious.
No, it was funny.
Every time she turned around, so she's like, "Gorsh."
Now, see, this is where we need the sound clip of your boy Pat's phone going off.
Yeah. Angel, did you watch a Goofy movie and like, oh my ass?
Oh, I swear to God, I hope they never try to make a live action Goofy movie.
I know.
I might actually riot.
2 reasons why they should never make a live action Goofy movie. First off, 3D image of Goofy would just be horrible.
Dude, they already did that with Kingdom Hearts.
No, I'm talking about a live action version of a dog man hybrid. Would be fucking scary.
The only way I want to see that is if they're all based. It's like if they're all like Disney mascots, like the mascots you would see at Disney World, and every single person has to be a mascot. Every single one. I'd watch that movie. No actual people, just people in mascot costumes playing the roles.
That'd be kind of kick-ass.
I'd watch that.
But that would require 2 things, Rod, that would never happen.
Work and effort.
Oh, work and effort, I guess 3. Talent.
Well, working. Well, I mean, honestly, they wouldn't even need to really have the rest of it. It's like they could just play the audio over it and just have the rest of them interact it. I'd be fine with that.
Like they require talent that these hacks do not possess. Like again, certain movies should never be turned into live action. Most movies should never be turned into live action if they were originally animated. I want to know what they. Remember we were talking about that Lilo and Stitch. I wonder what they're going to do with Stitch. I wonder what they're going to do with Jumba and Gantu.
It's probably going to be a 3D rendered.
Yeah, it's going to be a CGI thing.
Then doesn't.
I mean, honestly, if they're
then doesn't that defeat the purpose of doing?
Yeah, if they're going to do that, just CGI the whole fucking movie and make it easy. But then again, you already have the movie. Why do you need to remake it?
The movie isn't that old either. I can see remaking like Snow White or Alice in Wonderland.
I still kind of think the Snow White one is what set all this shit off because they kept thinking they could actually do it because we had Snow White and the Huntsman, and then we had the Beauty and the Beast, and then we had what was it, Aladdin, and now we have.
Snow White and the Huntsman is rather different because it was the Hans Christian Andersen. It was kind of a horror movie.
Yes, it was meant to be more off of the actual old grim tales.
I was gonna say that's a grim fairy tale. It's not Hans Christian Andersen.
Sorry, they tend
that's
to
the Little
together.
Mermaid.
But I want to say because of them doing that, because technically they didn't have to have Disney for it. Like that just set it off, and then Disney just had the whole thing of like, oh, we can go in through and make the live actions. Like we're going to make the live action Lion King, which was the most retarded fucking thing they could ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just going to film animals and then superimpose CG over them so we can have them talk because, yeah, that makes a whole lot of fucking sense.
Again, you don't need to. Everything doesn't need to have like Fairly Odd Parents did not need a live action movie.
No, 90%. I would honestly wager a high 90% of cartoons do not need a fucking live action remake, and this is my response to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I think she's saying computer.
Yeah, obviously.
No, it's computer.
Yeah, computer.
Yeah.
No.
She wants to borrow one.
Yes. Again, it's going to be. I wonder who they're going to get to play Lilo, because that's going to be a shit show in itself. They're already going after Nani. What they going to do with Lilo?
What are they going to do? Stitch?
We've already said it's most likely going to be a CG thing.
Who they going to?
Too young for me. I was too old to watch Disney at that point. That was more my brothers and sister would have been around interested in that.
My sister had kids at that time, so I'm very familiar with it.
My girlfriend had a little sister, so I kind of whenever I hung out with her and her little sister,
I've got no nostalgia for it. I've never seen it, and I'm less appalled because I don't have any memories associated with the movie. It's just like, yeah, whatever.
I actually think Lilo and Stitch might be the last movie that I went to with my stepdad. We brought my kids. And it was hilarious because he picked up my daughter my oldest daughter, and started dancing down the aisle with her during the credits. It was wonderful.
Well, that's kind of cute. But that again, they you don't need to remake your shit, or you don't need to censor and rewrite certain parts of certain things.
What if it has the word fat in it? You have to fix it. You have to fix it if it says fat.
changing Roald Dahl's words is a literal travesty, and it's whoever decides
that's
to do
not
that.
descriptive enough. We need to be like gravitationally challenged.
I mean, it's basically the equivalent of book burning because the books that he wrote are not like they're gone and they've been replaced with the shitty new versions kind of thing.
And they're probably going to be replaced by shitty fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut up.
Go ahead. What do you guys say, Angela?
No, that's not. It's just pissing me off outright.
He was a big part of my childhood, Roald Dahl.
I absolutely love Roald Dahl, and I'm just sitting here listening to all of this going, I really want to know what they would do with the book Danny Champion of the World. Because while it's not one of his better known works, it's a hilarious story. I absolutely loved it. And it would give them fits. They would have nightmares.
They lost their mind over the twits. I mean, can you imagine any of these other works?
Yeah.
So it was an older, or not an old, but a Simpsons episode where it was the problem with Apu, and they were doing the whole, oh well, he's an iconic character, and like changing him would be a travesty and shit. That's literally what they're doing now. Like Roald Dahl's work stood the test of time. Like it outlived him. Like anybody can. I don't think it is public domain yet. I'm not sure. I think it still has some time for it into public domain. But when it does, it'll be what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody will have a Willy Wonka movie. Everybody will have a James and the Giant Peach movie, Matilda movie. That shit will forever. It's like Tolkien's work. When Tolkien's work hits public domain, that shit will be everywhere. James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one.
Sir Arthur
Conan Doyle.
Yeah, if you actually read his work, he's got some pretty racist work.
Yeah.
But even then, if you separate them, it's like
but it's separated from the time, like of when it was written at the time. It was written during World War II.
But even besides that, I don't care if the person who wrote it is a terrible person. Is the product in the
Is the story good? Give me a good story. I don't care.
H.P. Lovecraft's work. If you separate the author from the work, his horror is still epic. Everybody uses Cthulhu willy fucking nilly.
See, the thing with me about Lovecraft is I don't like his writing, but I do like the concepts, like Cthulhu and such. It's a really good setting, and it's like a lot of really good stuff there, but I just don't like the way he writes. So I couldn't get through his stories.
And what's great about that, though, is he wanted it to be to where, pretty much anyone could take that aspect and make their own story out of it. He
created a whole new genre of cosmic horror. Did not exist until he created the concept. Well, not created the concept, but he popularized the concept of we are insignificant beings being played for fools, and anything greater than us can come out and just wipe us out without a care in the world. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't do anything to stop it. Every story that he does, the whole premise is we're just staving off the end of the world. Like we don't honestly win in the end. We just push back the apocalypse to another day.
Yeah.
But if you want proof of just how influential he was, Lovecraftian is a word.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that word exists speaks volumes as to his influence.
Just like Robot. Robot was popularized by Asimov.
Mm-hmm.
Like that word did not exist until Asimov coined it, and it's synonymous with mechanical beings.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And if anybody goes and change a single word of Lovecraft because he was a racist, no, don't change his writings. Don't change Asimov because you don't like the time he writ that shit. You know.
But I've always said, look, I haven't seen Hitler's painting, but if it was a good painting, I would still say it's a good painting. I wouldn't say, it would have been a good painting, but he committed genocide. That doesn't make sense to me. Is the painting good or not on its own merit?
There is the one meme that actually has a painting from Hitler, and it's not a terrible painting. It's just it wasn't good enough for the art school he was trying to go to. From what I'm aware of, like it still put it out like he's a better painter than a lot of other people.
Of course,
it's like George W. Bush's paintings aren't the greatest, but they're not terrible.
A lot better than fucking Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is we did learn our lesson from World War II because now all art is good. Otherwise, what ethnic group are we can we do without?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he did change the line.
Sorry.
I mean, just saying.
Hey, man, some people juggle geese.
All right, Rodden, it's time. It's time. Put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Rodden, what movie are we watching tonight?
I was gonna ask you because we were gonna go with a palate cleanser. Any ideas? Tremors?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's watch Tremors.
I am down to watch the first Tremors. I love that movie.
The correct answer was Super Mario Brothers.
No.
Correct.
Which one?
No, Street Fighter.
The Bob Hoskins movie.
Hell, if we wanted to watch a Goofy movie, I'd be down to watch that.
Well, Super Mario Brothers is a very goofy movie, so.
But is it an extremely goofy movie?
Super Mario had the best line ever. I'm Mario. There.
How many Marios are there? There's 3 Marios. He's Mario. I'm Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
Oh man, get these plumbers out of here!
That movie is so wonderfully.
Yeah. I mean, it's endearingly bad.
Exactly.
Again, if it wasn't named Super Mario Brothers, it'd be a great movie.
Yeah, it's just got nothing to do with the franchise that they're supposedly adapting.
Yeah, not until for some odd reason they find the clothes that make them look more like the plumbers they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Like,
have you guys watched have you guys seen the pitch meeting on it?
Yes, I have.
I haven't seen the pitch meeting on it.
It's a good one.
I have to look up the pitch meeting.
I'll have to. I still just need to look up pitch meetings.
They're very funny. I mean, they're kind of like Cinema Sins, but actually good. Like the same idea as Cinema Sins, where they're just picking at the flaws and plot holes in a movie.
I mean,
but
look,
actually funny.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Look, the best Cinema Sins is still Troll 2.
I haven't watched Cinema Sins in years, so I don't remember which one.
There's a few that I've watched, but yeah, it definitely hasn't.
I just remember I can't remember who did it when they'd like it was like real or not realistic, but like the something of the freaking for trailers or whatever. And I just remember the Blizzard has a solid gold logo because they're fucking loaded.
Tobuscus. It's when he because he sings and he changed trailers. It's Tobuscus. I love Tobuscus.
Honest Trailers, that was it.
No, it wasn't Honest Trailers. It was Tobuscus in his singing them.
Oh, because I could have swore that was they called it Honest Trailers, but whatever.
Nope. Literal trailer, literal museum of trailers. I think it's called. But I know for a fact because I always every so often I go back and watch it. That's Tobuscus. because he has
The more we talk, the more disappointed Filthy Frank is getting.
Sorry, my bad. Time to stop. Time to stop. So let me do my show. Rodden has Rodden movie reviews with me, Angela, and James. Sunday nights around 12 o'clock. Are you doing a Talking Into the Void this week?
Plausibly on Tuesday. We'll see how things go.
All right. Angela is on Quippers United with Gunski, Terrybot, James Colley, and I believe Frosted Glass is the other regular.
I'm not a regular, and this week I'm not actually going to be on.
And Frosted might not be there since he's like out of state.
He's interstate. He's at the NASCAR thing with a friend.
Oh, well, okay.
He's gonna watch him make a left turn.
No, he's gonna make another left turn.
I just make sure Jack knows when I'm available, so that if anybody does duck out on him, he's not left high and dry.
Okay, all right. Hellcat has the Penny Arcade. His Minions Night is on Thursdays. He does the powwow stream with Hey Camel, and they're going over the saga of the great and wise Chris Chan currently.
The great and powerful Chris Chan, which started on last Thursday, and we're going to be continuing this Thursday.
That is why I didn't watch Minions. I turned over, I saw Far was on, and then they're talking about Chris Chan. Okay, what else is on?
That was a great.
Is he the one that did Sonic Shoe?
Yep,
that's him.
Yeah,
the one who raped his mother.
Yes,
the literal motherfucker. Yes,
allegedly.
He's internet famous, and now he's in the win.
Chandler, if I'm not mistaken.
He's internet infamous.
Yes.
All right, James Colley has the Nerd Out stream. He's on with Rod and myself and Angela on Rod movie reviews. He's also on Quippers United again with Angela, Gunski, Terrybot, Frosted Glass.
Whoever Jack has on.
Yeah, pretty much.
And are you doing a Nerd Out stream this Saturday?
It's up in the air. I haven't done one in 2 weeks because, quite frankly, anime's slow right now. Although there is a couple of good ones, I do hope to get. I'd like to talk and see if we can get Johnny and Gabby back together and talk about what's coming out this quarter.
I'm kind of behind in my thing because my totally legitimate source of anime information is updated, and I don't like how they updated it.
I'm so far behind. The only thing I've kind of kept up with is manga.
I need to get I just finished reading the Oni buses of Shaman King. Yeah,
the best anime is clearly Pokemon. That's
which one?
Well, Ash is no longer the main character anymore. So,
well, I mean, I haven't watched it since the 90s when he was. So that when I think of the Pokemon anime, I'm thinking
looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Team Rocket with Meowth and Ash with Pikachu.
I'm thinking Bye Bye Butterfree.
I'm thinking
I'm thinking Bye Bye Butterfree.
Am I the only one that wanted to see Jessie topless?
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
I think pretty much every male wanted to see.
Tyribot is on Minions of the Zoo. He's on Monday nights with Mr. Adam of Clan Veggie. He's on Wednesday nights with the One Ton Hammer and Gen T Maxi Pad. He's also on the corner with Frosted Glass,
which is on hiatus.
Moonshock and Gunski, but they're on a hiatus until May. He's on Quippers United with Angela, James, Frosty Glass, who's not going to be there.
Everyone.
Yeah.
With all the people.
He's on Hellcat's penny streams on varying days.
When he does the riff tracks or Jackbox streams, I'll usually jump on. But
yeah.
Oh, he's avoiding Chris Chan like the plague.
When are we going to do the Jackbox streams where we do the one with metrosexual? Because I love that game.
Well, we have to get a group for that, and I actually have to. That's more of a one I have to schedule rather than just on a whim. Because
it's hard to get enough people unless it's like scheduled in advance.
Well,
and I'm bad at scheduling.
You are.
And
Johnny?
I also think we need to do the fight cage bracket that keeps getting pushed out but never actually happens. I think just a whole bunch of us turn up on Adam's Minion stream. It's like, nope, we're doing this.
We're taking over the stream.
Oh, wow.
Well, it wouldn't be necessarily taking over because he's part of it. So
yeah.
Yeah,
He would be involved in the tournament. He would be an entrant.
One of these days, I would love to get Sanguine to but he's not streaming today.
He also works odd hours too.
Yeah.
What does Sanguine do?
he's an EMT.
Everything.
He talks a lot.
He does everything.
Because personally, I think Sanguine is just his cover name for John Lithgow.
Wow.
You know, sometimes I think he's just an alternate personality for Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
He sounds a lot like John Lithgow.
He does, now that I think about it.
So and you've never seen John Lithgow and Sanguine in the
Sanguine
same
in
place,
the
have
same
you?
room.
Same person confirmed.
That is
Wow.
So Sanguine is John Lithgow.
His secret is out.
I figured it out.
Yep, we've decoded it.
Done.
Now we can blackmail with this information. Shit, I would love to get Headcount to come on, but you know, he's old and boring.
He's old and
No,
He's got a regular.
Huh?
He's got one of them regular jobs as well, and
Yeah.
he has other things he has to do since he's a homeowner, and his stuff is in repair as well.
Yeah, he has a normie job.
I can't wait until I get this new job.
I mean, I got a normie job as well. Mine's a factory job, so it's pretty steady, regular.
Yeah, but you know the days you're going to be off. Like your days off is set in stone, correct?
For the most part, because it's 4 days on, 1 day off for my gym thing. That's what everything else is really dependent on.
Yeah.
I had to justify my shit diet somehow.
There you go.
Huh.
I'm going to steal it again. I'm going to figure out a way to have parting words, and there you go. Rodney, parting words.
I don't like pain. It hurts me.
Angela.
I honestly can't think of any right now. Fireball and apple juice. Liquid apple pie. It's amazing.
Hellcat.
I also don't like pain. It does hurt me.
I figured you were going to use sanguines.
I don't know it by heart, so I can't say it.
Want to say
There's a
Camel
time
6.
and a place for pain. During my regular day is not it.
Well, we're going off the things that they usually say on the mains. And I want to say, if I remember correctly, sanguines is if you're passionate about something, devour it. Don't let it devour you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind
That
of
sounds
close. It's close, not verbatim.
Yeah. He actually says, make sure you devour it. Don't let
Yes.
it devour you.
James.
If you smell it at the belly button, don't eat it. If
Oh,
you smell it at the tits, don't fuck it.
Ew.
Wise words.
Shut up.
Wise words. Tyribot.
I'm just gonna give generic fighting game advice. Stop jumping so much. That goes double for you, Adam.
Damn.
Have you seen him play? He's like he's got springs on the bottom of his soles.
Jump around. Jump. Jump.
Yes.
Hop along.
Fighting games are not House of Pain records.
I guess one day I'll develop a catchphrase or parting words and shit. But
As long as you don't fall asleep on your own stream, we should be.
That would be funny though.
fuck
That
you.
would be funny.
I would laugh
Oh,
my
wow.
ass off.
I would laugh my ass off too. I wouldn't.
Because honestly,
How would you laugh your ass off? You'd be asleep.
When he woke up, he'd
If
wake
you-
up laughing.
If you do something, never apologize. Even if you're wrong, never apologize.
That is bad advice.
I wasn't saying it was good advice.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Apologize
If
occasionally.
you're wrong, own it. If you're not wrong, there's nothing to apologize for.
All right, I like
Oh,
that a little better.
shit.
You guys need to learn from the leftists. If you're wrong, redefine
down.
words until you're right.
Oh,
I got one better. Always move the goalpost.
There you go.
oh,
Always
wow.
move the goalpost.
Ranting Monkey 2010.
Always move the
That
goalpost.
motherfucker's notorious for moving the goalpost.
Yeah. He's a bad
Ranting
arguer.
monkey?
Yes, he moves the goalpost.
Well, shit, we get it. This, you know what? Make sure that motherfucker's on the swivel. All right. That's the end of the show.
That reminds me of that Nike commercial where Shaq is talking, where he's sitting and talking to his grandchildren. Says the game changed. Then talked about about the swiveling.
Oh, goalpost, yeah.
Yeah, backboard.
Shaq couldn't make freaking free throws to save his life 90% of the time, anyways.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
All
but
right. Let's end this. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.
Later, everyone.
Later. All right. And broadcast.